So I'm pleased to say that about a month ago we did a call to arms asking businesses to come forward and support the New South Wales Government, not just in providing supply chain, but perhaps retooling and providing some of those vital medical supplies. I'm very pleased today to have with me Minister Ayres, who's the Minister for Jobs and Investment, who's been in charge of supporting our government's efforts in retooling, and also the Minister for Health, Brad Hazzard. But now I'm pleased to say in New South Wales we have two companies that are developing prototypes for ventilators. As we know, ventilators are in short supply around the world. We do have some orders in at a state level, which we're hoping to receive in the next few months. But beyond that, we're confident that one or both of these prototypes, one which is being developed by the University of Sydney and the other one being developed by a company in Newcastle called Ampcontrol, we're confident that one or both of those prototypes will actually result in us being able to manufacture ventilators, not just in Australia, but here in New South Wales, which is fantastic news. And in due course, this is one of the industries which I think will continue to provide those vital supply chains beyond the COVID pandemic. So this is another example of New South Wales developing manufacturing in a highly demand piece of equipment that will save lives. And also, I do like the fact that beyond a certain point in time, we'll be able to rely on our own local high expertise, our own local manufacturing supply chains to be able to provide these ventilators, which is fantastic news. And Minister Ayres will explain that further.
As part of the call to arms that the New South Wales Government put out to industry, we had a number of organisations come to government to suggest that they would be able to create ventilators. We've been able to allocate health infrastructure and some of our innovation funding, which we put out as part of our early response to the COVID crisis, support the development of ventilators across New South Wales. I'm pleased to say that today there are now two products that the New South Wales Government will be supporting through a prototype and pre-production phase. One is based on a model that's been developed by students at the University of Sydney, and another is a model that's been based on a product developed out of a company called Ampcontrol in Newcastle. The Sydney University product is based on a tried and true ventilator product, deconstructed and rebuilt using modern construction technology and modern construction parts. The product out of Newcastle is a more sophisticated product and has incredibly strong potential. This is a fantastic response from New South Wales industry. It's a fantastic response from our research and development groups right across the state. It also means that we've got the capacity to develop ventilators here in New South Wales to supply New South Wales Health, as well as supply other states around the country should demand continue to grow or spike at any stage in the future. It's also a reflection of the fact that when Australian innovation really puts its shoulder to the grindstone, we've got the capacity to develop world-class products. One thing we know about coronavirus and COVID-19 is that it is going to be around for a while, and the demands for ventilators across the world are going to be strong. I think it's fair to say that these two products, should they meet TGA approval, and the indications that we have at the moment is that they are definitely on that path, that they could well turn out to be fantastic Australian and New South Wales exports across the world stage at a particular time when the world is desperate for new technologies and the capacity to supply ventilators, not just here in Australia, but across the world. This is a reflection of the call to arms that we put out to people. It's a fantastic response where that innovation has really responded to the need that our communities have. And to now have two products going into prototype and pre-production should give everyone around our community the confidence that industry and government are working together to meet this challenge.